I wanted to talk and lead off with Oregon. I assume that's what you were saying. I really couldn't hear you because we had the Harbor video going here in studio as well. But look, for Oregon, 2 5-stars, 18 4-stars. Even without Nick Harbor, I think this is really a great job by Dan Lanning. And look, with UCLA and USC leaving the Pac-12, man, they're kind of set up to run this thing, right?
Yeah, something that really stands out to me is the fact that Oregon under Mario Cristobal was still recruiting at a very, very high level. And you go and you bring in Dan Lanning, and what you've done is very similar to bringing in Mario Cristobal. Is you want some of that SEC Cruton juice. You want a coach that's going to be able to tap into it, know how to work the game, know how to play ball, so to speak, and be able to land some of those big superstars. And we've seen sometimes when that uncharacteristic approach lands in a new conference, it can shake up everything. And Oregon was already recruiting at a high level, but what Dan Lanning has been able to do, in particular, winning some of these battles in the recruiting cycle head-to-head against USC and Lincoln Riley, really, really remarkable stuff. I look at him and think that this is an Oregon program so healthy, in such great shape under Dan Lanning. We're going to be expecting, Bud, we should expect Oregon to have a top 10 class every year. We always talk about what the expectations are. It's really hard to say that you're going to go up against your Alabama, your Georgia, your Ohio State, crack that top 3, crack that top 5. But Oregon should not be lower than 10 to 15 unless there's a really easy explanation for it, just because of the way this machine seems to be rolling right now.
Chip, 100%. You go for Mario Cristobal, who has the reputation as being a real maniac recruiter and of leaning on his staff. And I think Dan Lanning really does the same thing. He's an attention to detail guy, really hard worker on the recruiting trail. Oregon has won some important battles, including against USC recently. Obviously, I'm sure they're bummed about Nick Harbor, but they have a lot of other guys in this class who I think can help them be really, really good in Lanning's third year, in Lanning's fourth year. And that is when this class will be sophomores, will be juniors, will be redshirt sophomores, right? The one guy I really want to talk about here is Jurion Dickey. Like, this kid, I know they just missed out on a freak athlete in Nick Harbor, but Jurion Dickey is a really freakish guy. He has nice long speed, extremely strong hands. If you look at the frame, I think he's a guy who could even add some more good weight, good point of attack catch guy, and after the catch dude as well. He's one of our top rated receivers in the country. That is an area that I do think Oregon, Cristobal recruited a lot of positions very well, but who was your favorite receiver at Oregon for the Mario Cristobal era? That's maybe not a position that was as strong there in Eugene, and now I think they're doing that a lot better. I like Dickey. They also got Ashton Cozart, a receiver I know we're pretty excited about it as well.
Yeah, and this is probably a good statement in that you lose Kenny Dillingham to Arizona State, who had his own success here on National Signing Day with the commitment of Jaden Rashada, but you still don't have too many issues down the way where you lose an offensive coordinator, but the staff is still going to be able to recruit at a high level. I think that that's really reflective of what we've got from Dan Lanning.